There are ordinary objects that are rumored to be cursed with deadly curses. Come with me to find out. They say some chairs are uncomfortable, but this one might kill you. Welcome to the cursed tale of the Busby Stoop chair, the deadliest seat in England's history. Meet Thomas Busby. Professional drunk, full-time mess, and the kind of guy who would lose a fight with a shadow. He lived in North Yorkshire, and he loved two things in this world: his wife and his scratched-up, beer-stained wooden chair. Now, his father-in-law, Daniel Audie, absolutely despised him. Then came the day. Busby stumbles home drunk again, and what does he see? Audie sitting in his chair. Gasp! Busby absolutely snaps. He grabs a hammer because why settle for words when you can escalate to blunt force trauma, and murders the old man. Because nothing says Happy Father's Day like chair-related homicide. He gets caught, obviously, sentenced to death, but right before his execution near the local inn, Busby drops his final, Oscar-worthy line: "Let death come to anyone who dares sit in my chair." Chilling, dramatic, slightly over the top. But hey, the curse stuck. Decades pass, the chair remains, and then things start getting weird. People sit, people die. During World War II, airmen who sat in the chair mysteriously never returned from missions. Delivery men crashed. A roofer slipped off a roof hours after taking a break on the chair. One guy sat in it and got struck by lightning, indoors. They nailed the cursed thing to the wall. Like a floating wooden death trap. It's still there today, at the Thirsk Museum. So next time you see an old wooden chair, completely empty in a crowded bar, ask yourself, why is no one sitting there? And maybe, just maybe, don't. What if I told you there's a painting so cursed, it became famous for surviving house fires? Introducing The Crying Boy, a mass-produced painting from the 1950s, showing a sad little boy with watery eyes, trembling lips, and the kind of look that screams, "I'm not okay, and maybe you won't be either." Painted by Italian artist Bruno Amadio, this melancholic masterpiece was printed and sold all across post-war Europe, especially in the UK. It became bizarrely popular. People hung it in their kitchens, living rooms, even bedrooms. Then, the weird stuff started happening. In the 1980s, a string of mysterious house fires broke out across the UK. Homes were destroyed, furniture gone. But one thing kept showing up in the rubble: the Crying Boy painting, untouched. Not even a scorch mark. Firefighters were confused. Tabloids had a meltdown. Headlines screamed, "Curse of the Crying Boy, the painting that won't burn." Some families swore they heard whispers near the painting before the fires. Others claimed they felt watched. And some just got tired of being haunted by sadness and bad luck. People began burning the painting, only to find it wouldn't catch fire. Another man's car broke down right after he dumped the painting. At one point, the British Fire Department had to issue a public statement. "It's not cursed, it's just printed on flame, retardant material." But let's be honest, that's boring. The idea of a painting that chooses to survive fires? Way more fun, way more cursed. Have you ever seen a wedding dress that moves on its own? No wind, no strings, no bride, just pure drama. Let's rewind to the 1840s in Pennsylvania, USA. Anna Baker was the daughter of Elias Baker, a super-rich ironmaster who loved money almost as much as he hated poor people. Unfortunately for him, Anna fell head over heels in love with a lowly ironworker. And just like every rich dad in every tragic love story, Mr. Baker said, "You're not marrying that broke dude while you live under my roof." Then probably slammed a door dramatically. Anna, of course, had already picked out a gorgeous wedding dress. Wow! white, flowing, elegant, ready for her big day. But nope. Daddy Baker forbade the wedding, fired the poor guy, and basically sentenced Anna to a lifetime of heartbreak and boredom. She never married. She lived in that big mansion, bitter and alone, until the day she died. Her dress? It stayed untouched, stored away like a ghost of a dream. Fast forward to today, the dress is displayed at the Blair County Historical Society. And here's the spooky twist. Staff and visitors swear the dress moves. Its sleeves sway, the fabric rustles, and it sometimes twirls like it's still waiting for a wedding dance. Some say it's just air currents. Others? They say Anna's ghost is still there, trying on her dress for the wedding she never had. Have you ever bought something on eBay that brought more than just bad vibes? Well, meet the Dybbuk Box, a small wine cabinet that's basically haunted house, portable edition. It all started in 2001 when a guy named Kevin Manis, a Portland antique store owner, bought this old wine box at an estate sale, nothing too spooky, until he gave it to his mom as a gift. Aw, right? Well, she opened it and immediately had a stroke. Yep. Happy birthday, Mom. Kevin took it back and started experiencing weird stuff. Lights shattering, nightmares, strange smells like jasmine and cat pee. Yeah, that's an actual combo. So naturally, he did what any cursed human would do. He sold it on eBay. The box allegedly contains a Dybbuk, a malicious spirit from Jewish folklore that can possess the living. Inside the box, dried rosebuds, a goblet, a candlestick holder, some pennies, and one single lock of hair. After being passed between terrified owners and racking up a body count of headaches, night terrors, and shattered relationships, the Dybbuk Box ended up with Zach Bagans. Yep, the Ghost Adventures guy. And now it's locked in a glass case at his haunted museum in Vegas, because why burn it when you can charge people $45 to look at it? So, if you're ever online shopping and see a wine cabinet with "Do Not Open" written on it, maybe just don't. You've heard of Annabelle, right? Cool. But before her, there was Robert the doll, the OG haunted doll, and quite possibly the pettiest spirit in a sailor suit. Let's rewind to the early 1900s in Key West, Florida. A young boy named Robert Eugene Otto, or just Gene, received a handmade doll from a Bahamian servant who allegedly practiced voodoo. Yep, already sketchy. Gene named the doll Robert, because nothing says creepy like naming a doll after yourself, and treated it like a real person. It had its own seat at the dinner table, its own room, and, according to Gene, its own attitude. Then, weird stuff started happening. Neighbors reported seeing the doll move in the window when no one was home. Gene's parents heard him talking to Robert, and sometimes Robert talked back. At night, Gene would scream for help, and when his parents rushed in, they'd find furniture thrown across the room, and Robert sitting very calmly. Even creepier? As an adult, Gene still kept Robert giving him his own room with a window view. Yup, just your everyday adult man and his totally cursed doll roommate. After Gene died in 1974, Robert was found in the attic and eventually sent to the East Martello Museum, where he now lives behind glass. But here's the deal. If you visit Robert, you must ask permission before taking a photo. If you don't, well, people report broken bones, ruined relationships, lost jobs, and mysteriously failing electronics. Some even write apology letters to the doll afterward. Seriously. So, lesson learned? If a doll dressed like a sailor is staring at you, maybe don't make fun of it. What if I told you one of the most beautiful diamonds on Earth might also be one of the most dangerous? Meet the Hope Diamond, a 45.5 2-carat deep blue jewel with a history so cursed it could have its own horror movie franchise. It all began in the 1600s in India. Legend says the diamond was stolen from a statue of a Hindu goddess, possibly ripped from her eye. The man who took it? Jean-Baptiste Tavernier. He brought it to Europe, sold it to King Louis XIV, and later died mysteriously. King Louis wore the diamond proudly. Then came his descendants, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. They had it, flaunted it, and well. Got their heads removed during the French Revolution. Coincidence? Owners reported accidents, suicides, divorces, mental breakdowns, and one guy was even eaten by dogs. Eventually, Harry Winston bought it and, plot twist, mailed it to the Smithsonian Museum in a box through U.S. mail for $2.44, insured. Today, the Hope Diamond sits safely behind glass in Washington, D.C., still sparkling, still watching. So, would you wear it?